In this hour with a controversial effort in Tennessee to address the threat of school violence. A proposed law to allow classroom teachers to carry guns has left people divided in that state. Its legislation introduced last year after the shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville that killed 6 people, including 3 children. As Mark Strassman reports, critics say that response is the wrong one.
For a second straight week, Tennessee high school students crowded the state capitol to protest a controversial gun bill they say belongs nowhere in classrooms. It would allow teachers to carry firearms. 16-year-old Emmy Wolf Dubin says the legislation would just add more chaos in the event of an active shooter.
Time after time, the idea of adding more guns to this situation isn't effective, especially in schools.
But supporters of the bill, approved by Tennessee State Senate earlier this month, say it could save lives in a situation when every second counts.
There are some counties where they may only have 2 deputies on shift. It might take 20 or 30 minutes to get to that school. This bill tries to fix that problem and protect children.
The issue has drawn passionate pleas from both sides.
I'm mad because this bill puts my child at risk.
If passed, Tennessee's bill would require at least 40 hours of firearms training. But that's not enough to ease the concerns for some. This state still grappling with last year's deadly shooting at the Covenant School. 3 children and 3 adults were killed.
And you feel that students are at risk with this bill?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're putting a job on the teacher that they should never have.
But if the bill passes, Tennessee's governor is expected to sign it. For CBS Mornings, Mark Strassman in Nashville.
Yeah, so as you heard there, Tennessee Republicans have passed a bill, HB 1663, I believe is the actual name of the bill. A bill to allow teachers to carry the pew-pew. I'm trying to keep it a little PG. Inside of a classroom if they so choose. Now, of course, you know, people who are against it are going to say, like you heard the lady there, well, see, this job shouldn't be for a teacher to do. Well, the teachers aren't being forced to. That's the thing. So that whole argument of, oh, well, teachers shouldn't have to carry that. Okay, well, they don't have to. That's not part of their job description. You're right. And they don't have to carry one if they don't want to. Nobody's forcing any teacher to do so. What it is happening though is they are allowing teachers to carry if they so choose. And I'll get into more of that argument a little bit later in this video, but you know, shout out to Tennessee Republicans, man. Shout out to Tennessee Republicans. They have been doing some fantastic things, even in the midst of all of the chaos and the drama and everything else. We talked about a story. This was probably last year, actually. Yeah, I think it was last year, where Tennessee Congressman Justin Jones, I believe his name is. I think his name is Justin Jones. I think that's his name. Anyway, a couple of Tennessee congressmen acting like absolute crazy folks. I'm trying to be nice here. I had some other choice words that I wanted to use instead of crazy folks, but just causing chaos, absolute chaos. Okay, and you know, Tennessee Republicans have stood on business, right? They aren't backing down. They aren't folding. They're standing on business, and I respect it.
Evening. Thank you for watching 10 News at 11. I'm John Becker. Teachers can now carry a gun in Tennessee classrooms. Lawmakers sent a bill to the governor for his signature to carry a concealed handgun. Teachers or staff do need to do 3 things. They need permission from school leadership, finish 40 hours of training, and also pass a mental health background check. Again, it does need the signature of the governor. 10 News reporter Sarah Oppman hears from critics and the impact.
Take note. There's precautions, right? There's precautions. You need time practicing. There's a mental evaluation, and the principal has to approve of you having said weapon. So there's precautions.
Of a change like this moving into the next school year.
Declare pass without objection. The motion to reinstate is tabled.
An eruption of protest can be heard after the House passed a controversial bill allowing teachers with permits to carry guns in schools.
Have you done everything you can possibly do to make our schools safe across the state? I believe that this is a method by which we can do that, because what you're doing is you're creating a deterrent.
Cookeville State Representative Ryan Williams originally introduced the bill in 2023. After debates in both chambers, it ultimately passed both the Senate and House this month. Supporters say it will help protect gun-free zones. However, some argue it will do more harm than good.
We need to stop the guns before they get to the school. They should never get to the schoolhouse door. You all want to bring the gun battle into the classroom.
Others were supportive of the bill, commenting on the fact that over 500 schools in Tennessee are without school resource officers.
And here in particular, who talked about...
Hold on, before we get to this Republican, Jason Zachary, that lady made no sense. That Democrat lady that said, oh, well, you guys want to bring the battle to the classroom. Well, the battle has already gone to classrooms, and we've seen how that has played out. You guys remember, what's that? Was it Uvalde, right? Well, the officer stood outside and blocked the parent from going in to save their child. How did that battle go? It was in a classroom. Okay? Now, just imagine if those teachers were armed. Just imagine if they were allowed to fight fire with fire. Maybe it still turns out the same way. Who knows? Or maybe it turns out completely different. I'm willing to find out. Right? Now, of course, I guess I should clear this up before somebody twists my words. Obviously, I don't want to see anyone running into a school trying to harm children, right? But we have seen the way, we have tried it the Democrats' way, right? It's time to try it our way. We'll see if it works. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't stop anybody. Or maybe it does. Key point, and we're going to get back to this video. Where was this? Oh, man. I can't remember exactly where it was, but there was a manifesto written by one of these deranged folks that ran up in a school and harmed some kids. And one of the things that was said, and the police officer revealed it, the police officer had said that the individual chose that place because it was a soft target. They had another place in mind, but they saw some people with the pew-pews. So they chose a different place. So now if these folks know, hey, there's a possibility that either every teacher in this building has a pew-pew, or at least enough of them have the pew-pew. So maybe as soon as I get in here, I get a pew-pew straight to the dome. So I'm probably not going to choose this. I'm going to go back home instead. This is a bad idea. I'm just saying.
It would take 20 minutes for law enforcement to get to his kid's school. That's completely unacceptable for a school to be without an SRO and no protection of any kind.
Outside the Capitol, students gathered to protest the bill.
I will be here defending my teacher's right to not be EMTs in classrooms, my teacher's right to not be armed law enforcement in classrooms. I will be here defending the students' right to not be intimidated by the fact that their teacher may have a gun.
4 House Republicans and all Democrats opposed the bill during.
That young lady has no clue that she probably walks by people on a daily basis that have concealed weapons on them. We all do it all the time. All the time. You walk by people all the time that are armed, and you have no clue. No clue. So this whole narrative of, oh, well, we're going to be intimidated. Bro, teachers aren't going to be yanking, firearms and pointing them at students, right? And if that does happen, that teacher will be dealt with accordingly. I'm going to keep it PG, right? We can imagine how that one's going to end. So this whole narrative that, oh, well, this is going to be a threat, blah, 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 blah. No, not at all. Teachers aren't going to be doing that. If they wanted to do it, they could have already done it. They could have already done it. Any teacher could take something into the classroom with nobody knowing. They get to the schools before everybody else. They can put it somewhere, right, where it's hidden and just have it waiting there at any point in time. But that's not what's happening. So, like, that whole argument is foolish. And the whole argument that, well, teachers shouldn't have to be law enforcement officers. Nobody's forcing them to. We're just giving you the option.
Tuesday's vote. Reporting in Knoxville, I'm Sarah Optman.
More perspective tonight. The parent of a student at the private school in Nashville that was the scene of a mass shooting last year shared on social media her criticism, saying in part, the Republican supermajority in Tennessee is dangerous and there needs to be more moderate candidates in office.
The Republicans are dangerous. Wow. Okay. We'll see how that one plays out in a few years when we ultimately see that all of this dies down completely and it's no longer a thing. Because I can almost guarantee that that's going to be the outcome of this. No matter how much Democrats try to kick and scream, I guarantee you that all of the, pew-pew situations that happen just about cease to exist in Tennessee. Just saying. We can reference this video in a couple of years. This video will be here. Okay, so we can look back on this time and see how many tragic situations have happened at, Tennessee schools where teachers are actually carrying, right? Because it wouldn't really count if, a principal didn't approve anyone to, carry inside of the school. Well, Rich, see, this happened. Well, the principal said nobody could, so that doesn't really count. So we'll count the schools where people and where teachers do actually carry. And we'll see what happens in those schools. And I'd be willing to make a bet that nothing will happen. Because everyone will know if I go into this school, I'm not walking back out. And I mean for the individuals that are there to harm folks, not just regular students and whatnot. Okay? I want to make that clear before somebody tries to twist my words.
Mr. Sergeant of Arms, invite the members into the chamber and close doors.
The Tennessee Capitol is full of age-old decor.
Next order, Mr. Clark.
And time-honored decorum. And for a bill that has quickly become one of the most controversial of the session,
it makes no sense. We just need to stop this.
We'll see a parliamentary move members of the public probably aren't used to seeing.
It's laying on the desk.
Laying on the desk is legislative talk for being put on hold.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
This bill actually passed in several committees in the House last year, but was put on hold after the Covenant shooting. Now lawmakers would have to revive the bill essentially on hold in order to hear it before the end of this year.
The desire is to take it up and have a hearing about it on the House floor.
Representative Ryan Williams, the House sponsor, wouldn't give specifics on when he'll make that move.
I suspect in the next few days that'll happen.
Only that he remains committed to seeing it pass.
Most of the people who were not supportive of the legislation are really not really educated on what the actual bill does.
Under his bill, teachers aren't forced to carry weapons. It's completely voluntary, and they have to meet several qualifications, like already having a handgun carry permit, going through 40 hours of additional training, passing a psychological evaluation, and then getting approval from the local police chief or sheriff, their director of schools, and their principal.
There's all kinds of concerns.
But Democrat Sam McKenzie is worried about safety.
I'd say this, if somebody volunteers, say, pick me, that is the last person you want with a gun.
And schools being able to keep their liability insurance.
If I was an insurance company, there's no way I would ever back anything like that.
It's shaping up to be a bitter political fight that has been as timeless as old decor and decorum.
Ms. Clark, please take the roll.
Roll call.
Chris Davis, News Channel 5.
And of course, Democrats hosted a, let me see if I can actually find that video clip. You guys gotta see this video clip, because they hosted like a, I think they called it like a dead end or something like that. You know, Democrats be doing silly stuff. But here's a clip. Here's a clip. So let me read this here. Okay, so left-wing activists, including Representative Justin Jones, staged a die-in, and were screaming like lunatics after the bill passed. Check out this video. This is Democrats protesting right here. I'll be, my goodness, yo. Yeah, we're going to play like, you know, we're pine boxed. Like this, come on, man. Just silly. Just absolutely silly. Look at this woman back here, like leaning. Okay, that's just silly stuff, man. Like what does that accomplish? Absolutely nothing. You just look silly. You look silly, and you're just wasting time, right? You're wasting time. We only get 24 hours in a day. In our day, and this is how Democrats choose to spend their 24 hours. Goodness gracious. Shout out to Tennessee Republicans. Keep doing the darn thing, okay? Keep doing the darn thing. Tennessee Republicans have been on point, and I love seeing it. I love seeing it. Y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.